1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We are live. We're live. We're live. Where are we? Live. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Marcus in the Morning. We're live. This was me crashing a concert hall. How you doing, everybody? Hey, good morning, everybody. Mark Scotty reporting. How are you? How are you today? That's me playing piano to a giant empty room called Hendricks Chapel in Syracuse University. I went up there and I just crashed the hall when nobody was in there, and I started to play. That's pretty good. Live concert with nobody there except me. So hey, everybody, how you doing, man? Mark Scotty reporting. Today is a big day. Freaky Friday, big day for us over here, but also a big day on Wall Street. There will be a Jackson Hole meeting in Wyoming amongst very, very important central bankers, where they're going to decide the fate of the U.S. economy and abroad. They're going to decide whether they're going to jack up the interest rates on banking money even more, another 75 basis points. Or maybe they'll do less. They'll say 50 basis points, and everybody on Wall Street will be happy. Nonetheless, the futures look to be open. We'll look at that story. Very important. You know, if are the markets expanding? Is the economy expanding? Is it retracting? We don't really know. Also, Joe Rogan had Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook on his program, and basically got Zuckerberg to confess that he, in fact, censors information based on what the FBI tells him about Russian propaganda. Now, can anybody raise their hand and really put their finger on any one thing that Russia has? What propaganda has Russia propagated on Facebook or the like? There is none. What, the Russians hacked the election? False. There's no evidence of it. Right? So, but nonetheless, the issue of Hunter Biden's laptop that was revealed before Joe Biden was elected president turned out to be very, very real. And Zuckerberg is claiming that the FBI told him that was watch out for Russian propaganda. Although they never said the Hunter Biden laptop in particular, but Zuckerberg, in his mind, decided to censor that story. This is what big tech can do today. They just shut people up, right? That was a big story. Hunter Biden had a laptop. We'll tell this story to our kids. Our grandkids. Once upon a time, Hunter Biden, the son of the president, had a laptop, and he brought it to a repair center. And in that laptop, we discovered that he was a crackhead and a whore, and that he was taking money illegally from foreign nations and feeding it back to his father. And the FBI said it was Russian propaganda and got everybody to not pay attention to it. And then one day, the Donald Trump tooth fairy came along and told us it was all real. That had the potential to influence people and their vote and their if the votes even matter. But had the Hunter Biden laptop had the potential to swing people to or from Joe Biden if it was allowed to be heard, and it wasn't allowed to be heard. It was stuffed as Russian propaganda. Where's the apology from the FBI? Where's the apology from the mainstream media? Where's the apology from, people that failed to jump on the story? The journalistic malpractice that everybody just, what do we do now? That's American politics. We listen to the FBI, people like James Comey, the politicized FBI, to tell us what's going on in the world, what's going on in our elections, what's going on in the minds of other potential voters. Anyway, man, so that's the story we'll talk about today, and then we'll break to the markets at 9:30. I'll drop the link in there if you want to come on the live chat. I'm opening it up. There it is. All right, there's the live chat. If you'd like to join me in a little while, maybe in 15, 20 minutes, you can come on. I know Vinny's going to come on, and we'll have a talk. Audition, come on. Tell us who you are. What you're you got any questions, comments, right? You could say almost anything here except the things that YouTube won't allow. Now, again, we love YouTube. We want to help YouTube understand that the problems are within. That it's not Russia. Yeah. Blame Russia because they can never be held. They can never hold us liable. They can never hold us accountable for the lies that we tell about them, because they're their own country, right? They're immune to American, bankruptcy and attack. Right? That's a great way to, it's a great way to hide. It's a great way to misinform by blaming a country, the entire country. But anyway, man, let's just move on. So this is my thumbnail. This is Jerome Powell. He's going to be speaking from Wyoming at 10 a.m. That's about 50 minutes away, New York time, and we'll definitely be listening to what the hell he's going to say about the stock markets and the issue of inflation in America. This is my website, marcusconti.com. I have a website. We're live every morning at 9 a.m., and you could just come to the website and find out where we are. Right now, we're on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. And there we are, live. We're live. You just click on the button, and boom, we're on YouTube. Right, so inflation in America. There we are, right? See, we're live. Oh, let me put the question mark up, right? But while we start answering, question. We're going to question everything, right? We're going to question everything we're allowed to question, right? So again, let's start here. Marcus Conti reporting. Stocks rose sharply Thursday as central bankers from across the globe convene for the U.S. Federal Reserve's highly anticipated Jackson Hole Economic Symposium. And thank you all for bearing with my diction problem here, with my front teeth not making the sounds that they're supposed to make. I'm working on it. I'm working on getting some new front teeth, and also learning to speak without them for now. So the S&P 500 jumped 0.14%. So Jackson Hole, right? The fucking guys out there in Wyoming, right? Jerome Powell, have enormous influence over the stock market. And they're going to talk about how they're going to use the Federal Reserve and the central banking system to rein in inflation. They want to get inflation down to 2%. Right now, it's hovering at about 8%. That's fucking crazy, man. Crazy inflation going on right now, and people are pissed off. People don't want to pay. I did notice that the price of gasoline is down. It's under $4 a gallon where I live in Northeast Pennsylvania. It was over $5. So say as evidence, oh look, the price of gas is coming down. Look, prices will right now. Supply and demand is out of whack. For a long time, buyers had the advantage. Right now, sellers have the advantage because they have less stuff to sell, so they're charging more. And eventually, it'll come into balance. That's the way shit works. You just got to be patient, right? And so that's what we're thinking. We're looking at Chairman Jerome Powell is scheduled to deliver remarks that may indicate whether the central bank's next policy announcement in September will result in another 75 basis point rate hike or lighter bump of 50 basis points. See, that's what we're looking at. We're looking if Jerome Powell comes out and says, "Oh, we're going to only jack it up 50 basis points instead of 75," the stock market loves that because that's now evidence from the central banking system that we might have inflation under control. I think the number one thing they have to consider is that whether it's effective or not, Joe Biden and the Democrats just signed an Inflation Reduction Act prepared to dump in $700 billion into the economy. Was it 700 or 500? $500 billion are going to go back into the economy. So you got to consider that too, right? That's stimulus, right? That's what jacked the markets up in 2020. That's why we're in the situation now where there was so much liquidity, and then the liquidity dries up and it crashes, and then and then they start to inflate it again. So the Inflation Reduction Act should, in fact, be something on Jerome Powell's tongue, right? So we'll look at that story too. What else is going on? Markets are anticipating a more hawkish statement. I disagree. I disagree with you, Yahoo. The market is showing signs of actually dovish. It's going up right now. The market prior to the 10 a.m. Announcement, the Nasdaq is going up. The Nasdaq is dripping up right now. So I don't know what they're talking about, right? The broad expectation is for Powell to continue his narrative of fighting inflation while dissuading markets from the notion that the Fed has made a dovish pivot, says some character at U.S. Credit Suisse. It's U.S. Credit at 24/7 assets. I disagree with that. The market is starting to. Rupert Fellows says markets should work on Wall Street. I did for a long time. Hey, listen, when we say Wall Street, we're not talking about, a place on Wall Street. Wall Street is everywhere. Wall Street is the market. Wall Street is the bond market. Wall Street is the stock market. Wall Street is the real estate market. Wall Street and, big banks like J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs and such control so much of our economy now. They even control the assets of the rich and famous and the politically connected. So if you want to bet against Wall Street, I would say you're wrong. You're dead wrong. Right? Stop crying. Right? Go with the flow. On Wall Street, the idea is trend. The trend is your friend. But to answer that question, I am on Wall Street. I'm on Wall Street right now. I'm watching my stock. I'm watching my stock right now. Right? That's Wall Street. That's what Wall Street does. We watch our stocks go up, hopefully. Yeah, see, NASDAQ futures are opening up. They're brushing off the idea that there's going to be a new bottom. So, again, I had told you, I had said back when the NASDAQ was down here, down around this level, that the next big move is up. And I was right. I also said that the bottom was in. This is the daily. I told you that the bottom was in on the NASDAQ. So, and it is. It appears to be in. Unless the market crashes and goes below the bottom, that would be unprecedented. If you look on the weeklies, right? The NASDAQ has not broken this green line, this green trend line, 200-day moving average, since, let's go all the way back. Right? It hasn't broken it since 2008. And then it took quite a while to recover. But then again, it was going sideways for a long time. But the trend, if you notice, the trend is up. The trend on the markets have been up, despite the crash. But this, when the markets do that, that's the opportunity to buy. That's a buy opportunity. Yeah. It's a shitstorm of bad news, but that's That's where you buy it. You buy it on sale because why? It always goes back up. It may take a while, 6 months, a year. So what? What do you got? What do you got to lose? Right? All right, so we'll look at that when it opens. This is my thumbnail today. This is Jerome Powell. If you don't know who he is, he's the Fed chair on Wall Street. Other stories too. We'll talk about racism. I like that subject. We'll talk about Mark Zuckerberg on the Joe Rogan show, and what else? So we'll do that. Yeah, we're live every morning. My name is Marcus Conti. I'm promoting love on YouTube. We love YouTube, and we love to promote love on YouTube. Every morning at 9 a.m., you don't need notification. You just need to be here and show up and hang out with us, and we'll and then you can also now become part of the program, as I said, right? Yeah, you can. In a few minutes, I'm going to open up the live chat, and you can come on the show and spew your venom if you want. What else we got here? Yeah, so Jerome Powell. What else? This is a sick story. Check this out. So if you're a governor, think of yourself as the governor of New York for 1 minute, right? You fell asleep and then you woke up one day and you were the governor of New York, right? That's what happened to Kathy Hatchell in New York. She wasn't the elected governor. They put the hatchet in Cuomo's back. Andrew Cuomo's back, got rid of him, and Kathy Hatchell, who was his lieutenant governor, got put in the position. But she's now saying that, if you can imagine this, right, the governor of a state saying, calls for 5.4 million Republicans to leave New York. That's what she said. If you don't like it, you can leave. Is that partisan? Is that nonpartisan? Is that a smart thing for the governor of a state that's losing people left, right, and center to say? I don't think so. Governor Hatchell, who hasn't proven shy about issues ordered, had won for the state's Republicans this week. All 5.4 million of them. She said, quote, "Just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? You are not New Yorkers." Wow. If you disagree with Kathy Hatchell in New York, the governor, if you disagree with her politics and you take the other side of her politics, which I guess is Republican or independent or anybody that disagrees with her, to the tune of 5.4 million people in the state, you should just get on a bus and go to Florida where you belong. That's fucked up, right? That's crazy, man. That's the politics, right? The politics. This is politics. This is not what's good for the people, what's good for the state. It's what's good for me. I'm Kathy Hatchell. I'm running for governor of the state. Vote for me. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of the state. Go to Florida with Ron DeSantis and the rest of the people that fled New York because of people like you. Anyway, man, it's crazy, right? New York City residents pay the highest combined state and local personal income tax rates in the nation. And she's kicking people out. Crazy, man. What else we got? The war. The liberal left librarian dyke homo lesbian group, right, on the left says that the people that are attacking the English language, changing the meanings of the words. Remember when Bill Clinton said that depends on what the meaning of is? Remember when he said that ridiculousness, right? And the politicians are notorious for changing the meanings of words. That's not called cheating anymore. Get that cheating word out of your head. That's not what it is. What it is look, the only way to cover the next election without getting kicked off YouTube is going to be to not, it's not. We're not allowed to call it cheating or rigging. Those words are horrible. but it is the parties, both Democrat and Republican, are notorious for changing the rules midway. So that's what we have to track. We have to look at where are the parties changing the rules so that the rules favor them. You remember down in Florida, the Democrats got sued. The DNC got sued for election fraud, and they said in open court that they are allowed to manipulate the election, the primary elections, any way they like. They said that in open court. That is now factual. There is much evidence to prove, based on their own testimony, that the Democrats will change the rules of engagement in an election so that it favors the candidate that they want. Right? But we don't call that cheating. We call that elections in America. That's what it is. Oh, no. We have to ensure that one guy gets elected over the other because we're protecting you. See, we have more information about what's going on, really. And that candidate, I don't know, Bernie Sanders, he's a socialist. He's got ties with Russia. He was married in Russia. Right? That sort of stuff, right? That's Russian propaganda, according to the Democrats, right? So the rules of engagement in elections has grotesquely changed, and you better suck it up and accept that that's the way elections are handled in America. Right? I think the answer, the secret, is not get all worked up about it. Right? What do I care? Is it going to really matter to me if Trump gets elected or Biden gets another chance, or they go with Mayor Pete or Ron DeSantis? Does it really matter to me personally? Not really. Does it matter to you personally? No. Unless you have skin in the game, unless you go all balls to the wall and say, Trump's my guy, fucking Trump, I love him. Or Kathy Hatchell's running for president, I love her, the first woman president. She kicked out 5.4 million Republicans from New York and sent them to Florida on buses. She's my woman. And then you get a emotional attachment to this nonsense. But what I was talking about is changing the meanings of words, right? In LA, Homeless Authority doesn't want anyone saying the word homeless anymore, right? Homeless. A war, the war on fucking the language, right? The English language. The LA Homeless Services Authority has put out a call for the word homeless to be dropped, claiming that the term is outdated and dehumanizing and leads to othering. A new word, right? I'm a smart guy. I went to college. What the fuck is othering? You're telling me that this is a real word? Othering. No, I didn't say other. I said othering. It's actually a word. Let's try to learn. Let's try to learn together what the new language, how the new English language operates. Othering. Othering is a phenomena in which some individuals or groups are defined and labeled as not fitting in within the norms of a social group. You mean what Kathy Hatchell just did to the entire Republican fucking base? 5 million people, a quarter of New York, 25% of New York. It's probably more than that because, look, only 25% of New York is registered Democrat. The other 25% is arguably registered Republican. And the vast other half, right, maybe even a majority, doesn't claim to be either. And those are the facts. That's the statistical fact. Right? But othering. So we need to learn. I'm just pointing out how the language is changing, right? We need to stop othering people and stop using the very divisive word homeless, Homeless. Our unhoused neighbors are human, says the LA Service Authority. And the language we use should reflect that. They don't have a home, so they're homeless. Homeless is now derogatory. We should use more. It's not human to say homeless. When one doesn't have a home, you're not homeless. You are instead. I don't know. What is the term that they want to use? Emphasize personhood. People who live outside are. I don't even know what this is. I can't even believe that this is a thing. Here's a comment. This is interesting. Julie Hamill says, how about person who is addicted and mentally ill lighting fires in the brush outside my house and walking into traffic naked in the middle of the night? How's that? We'll call them that instead of homeless. That's a good one. But anyway, the war against language, that's how we censor today, right? And we're going to look at a fascinating article about if you don't think you're under surveillance, well, I got news for you. We're all under surveillance to some degree, but some are under surveillance even more, especially when you work for large corporations and you're using their equipment. They're watching you. They're monitoring your movements in terms of how many times you click the mouse, how many times you touch the keyboard, right? Probably how many times you're at your desk as opposed to not at the desk, right? That's what the algorithms want to know. They want to know how long you're sitting at your desk, because sitting at your desk touching the keyboard means work. Even if you're playing crossword puzzles, it wouldn't matter, right? So you got to find a way to be outside, bring the fucking cordless mouse, put it in your pocket and keep clicking it. But we'll look at that story too. So war against language. It's 9:30. It's 9:30, and then we'll talk about Mark Zuckerberg and how you're under surveillance all the time. So the market is now open, and we are. Where are we? We're going down. We're going down. We're going up. Are we going up? Are we going down? Let's find out. I'm going to look at the NASDAQ first, because that's where my interests lie. This is a daily. This is a 1 week. We got to look at the 15 minute. Right? 15 minutes. So 15 minutes. We're going higher off the bottom right now, ahead of the Jackson Hole Economic Summit. Jerome Powell will be delivering remarks in 28 minutes. 28 minutes, right? And we'll see how the market is enjoying this upcoming announcement. Looks flat. Apple flat, up 5 cents. Amazon down 50 cents. Google down $1.50. Facebook up. How's Facebook up as the story about fucking Zuckerberg deliberately censoring the Hunter Biden laptop? Meta up. Microsoft down 15 cents. Rivian up 36 cents. Tesla up another $1. Walmart up 89 cents. What does all this mean? I'm going to tell you in a minute. Let's see. Bitcoin is up a little bit. Yeah, Bitcoin is up about a percentage point. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, the war industrial complex is up today. Maybe they're anticipating a war, because that's how they make their money, on the back of war. Sometimes, right? They sell bombs and guns and shit like that. Right? Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, the sellers of the holy vaccine that will save you and keep you safe from the deadly 2.5-year-old virus, corona. All three of those kind of trading flat right now. The action in those is over. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna. They're not. Nobody wants the vaccine anymore. Well, a lot of people don't want it, and government is not financing it anymore as much as they were. So that shit is over. So those shits are going to go to the toilet. Let's see what else. Yeah. So we've got a mix to slightly down open right now. Things holding steady right now, and steady as she goes, man. Steady as she goes. The bend in the market seems to be up at this moment. You see how it found support and now it's heading back up, right? There's no up without a down, right? So down and then up. It was a pretty bold move down, but it appears at this moment to be turning around and heading back up the markets, and we want that. We want that to happen. Right? So what else? So let's talk about Zuckerberg, right? So Mark Zuckerberg tells Joe Rogan Facebook was wrong to ban the Post's Hunter Biden laptop story. Now, if you don't know what the Hunter Biden laptop story is, I'll say it very quickly because most people know what it is. Hunter Biden was a gentleman who has a father, and the father is Joe Biden, President of the United States. He was the vice president at the time. And his darling son, Hunter, not the dead one, Beau, but the crackhead one, Hunter Biden, in between crack hits, his computer crashed, and he ran over to a repairman and said, "Hey, man, can you fix my laptop?" And the repairman didn't know who he was. He said, "Sure, man, that's what I do." He started to fix the laptop. He realized who it was and found amazing, unbelievable quid pro quo emails between the president of the United States and his son in the Ukraine and other stuff, too. We also saw pictures of Hunter Biden. Very, very damaging information coming directly from the son of the guy running for president of the United States. And we were not allowed to see it. Right? We were not allowed to see it. Even if we were allowed to see it, it was dismissed as what? What would Rachel Maddow call it? Russian propaganda. Is Rachel Maddow even still on television? Does she still have a show? I mean, do people still listen to people like Rachel fucking Maddow? I mean, I haven't even seen her face in I don't know, maybe a year. She doesn't pop up on any screen that I look at. Anything she says is but she was one of the lead proponents of the Russia did everything. Russia, Putin, Russia is behind everything that's bad. Even Joe Biden recently tried to say that the reason why gas prices are high is because of Putin and Russia. It's all nonsense, right? But Mark Zuckerberg believes it. He believes it. Let's listen to him in his own words. There's a better clip. Here it is. Yeah, let's watch.
On Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York Post.
We had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you
I believe that. Let's fact check Mark Zuckerberg. He says, Mark Zuckerberg testifies on Joe Rogan that the FBI came to them. Right? What is that? Stop for a second. Don't try not to vilify Zuckerberg too much. Remember, Mark Zuckerberg is, he's a billionaire. He controls Facebook. But Zuckerberg is also under the jurisdiction of the same things that we are. Corruption, FBI. So Zuckerberg testifies that the FBI came to him. Do we believe that's true? I do.
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant.
Wow. Just wow. Think about what's happening in your country. The FBI is coming to a platform. What is the danger? What is the danger to Americans in this scenario? Why is the top law enforcement agency in the country give a shit about what people talk about on Facebook? Why? Why? Because it's narrative, right? The FBI is coming to Facebook saying that you better watch out. You better watch out. You know what happened in 2016, Russian propaganda. And if you say 2016 Russian propaganda, I recall it being a nothing burger. And then they'll say, well, then you're Russian propaganda. You're a Russian asset, they'll say. Right? But there was nothing in 2016. But Mark Zuckerberg believes it.
Basically, there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol.
So the FBI told Zuckerberg to be vigilant for Russian propaganda. Came to him, made a field trip to Zuckerberg.
Is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all. We didn't do that. What we do is we have, if something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have this third-party fact-checking program because we don't want to be deciding what's true and false.
We do third-party fact-checking, right? Who is the third party? The third party is a think tank approved by the same people promoting the propaganda, right? People like Nate Silver for the Democratic Party. You're going to win, Hillary. You're way out in front, right? This Russian propaganda. So third party, he does fact-checking through third party.
Misinformation, important misinformation. We also have this third-party fact-checking program because we don't want to be deciding what's true and false.
We don't want to be deciding what's true and false. We need someone to tell us what rings true and what rings false. If the FBI tells me it's true, it's true. If they tell me it's false. I have to believe them. Why else? What? They're the FBI, right? They're right.
And for I think it was 5 or 7 days when it was basically being determined whether it was false. The distribution on Facebook was decreased, but people were still allowed to.
So right there. They did a fact check. They did a fact check to a third-party Democratic think tank, and found that the information had some validity to it as being propaganda. So we censored it. Right? Look, Zuckerberg is either the greatest actor in the world, which I don't think he is, or he's basically, low information politics and scared shit that the government and the FBI is going to shut him down. That's what it is.
To share it. So you could still share it. You could still consume it.
So when you say the distribution is decreased,
it got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less.
So there you go. The ranking, there's Zuckerberg testifying on Joe Rogan that the algorithms censor. They how did he phrase it? Here he is.
Decreased.
It got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less.
The ranking induced speed. They got a language for it. Oh yeah, we reduced the ranking induced speed, which basically is in colloquial language is shadow banning the story. They're banning the story from millions and millions of people that show the president of the United States in quid pro quo with Russia and Ukraine, possibly. No, pretty much for sure, right? And then what's the irony of that story is that when Trump was in office, he was impeached by the Democrats for what? For having a conversation with then president of Ukraine, Zelensky, over election integrity in our own country. What the fuck is Joe Biden and his son doing over there? That's all he asked. Can you find out, please? We think that there's some shenanigans going on, right? And for that, he was impeached. And Zelensky was vilified. Then Russia invades Ukraine, and Zelensky is their greatest hero. See how quick they change, how none of this makes sense? Right? It's all fucking manipulation.
Is decreased.
It got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less. So fewer people saw it than would have otherwise. So it definitely...
Fewer? What about the people that talked about it and got barred and banned and attacked? Zuckerberg, you contributed to that, yeah, right?
By what percentage?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's meaningful. But I mean, but basically, a lot of people were still able to share it. We got a lot of complaints that was the case. Obviously this is a hyper political issue, so depending on what side of the political spectrum, you either think we didn't censor it enough or censored it way too much. But
how about you don't censor it at all, Zuckerberg? Has it ever occurred to you to just stay out of political discourse when adults are speaking? When adults are speaking about, issues of American elections and election integrity and American politics, who's the best guy for the job? Why don't you shut the fuck up? Why don't you stay out of it?
For political issue.
Why don't you listen to Hatchell and go to Florida?
So depending on what side of the political spectrum, you either think we didn't censor it enough or censored it way too much. But
you shouldn't have censored it at all. Why isn't that an option? Oh, we have to censor it too much or not enough. Why not? Why isn't there a C? Don't touch it. Right? That's what Joe Rogan's trying to get at. Why did you censor it at all?
Right.
But we weren't sort of as black and white about it as Twitter. We just kind of thought, hey, look, if the FBI, which I still view as a legitimate institution in this.
Mark Zuckerberg views the FBI as a legitimate institution in America. He does.
View as a legitimate institution in this country. It's like very professional law enforcement. If they come to us and tell us that we need to be on guard about something, then I want to take that seriously.
Did they specifically say you need to be on guard about that story?
No, I don't.
And there's the gotcha. Right there, my friends, that is the gotcha. Joe Rogan asked Zuckerberg, did the FBI come to you and say that the story about Hunter Biden is Russian propaganda? Did they do that? And Zuckerberg is saying, no, they didn't. That was his decision. That was in his mind what happened. Listen again.
That's something that I want to take that seriously.
Listen.
Did they specifically say you need to be on guard about that story?
Did the FBI specifically ask you to be on guard about the Hunter Biden laptop story? What is your answer, Mark?
No, I don't.
No.
Remember if it was that specifically, but it basically fit the pattern.
It fit the pattern? What pattern? What fucking pattern are you talking about, Mark? I'm trying to understand you.
Something like that turns out to be real. Is there regret for...
I mean, unbelievable, right? Unfucking believable, right? I just want to talk about this quickly, and then we'll open the thing up. So you're being watched if you work for large corporations. You know what? I'm going to kill it here. I'm not going to kill it here. Let's move on, and we'll go to the live chat. I don't want to talk anymore. I want to make sure that I got the. Markets are kind of mixed right now. They're holding steady. In a few minutes, Jerome Powell is going to start to speak, and hopefully we're live when that happens. If you want to join me in the chat, if you want to join me in the live chat, I opened it up. Let's see, and I'm going to drop the link in right now. Just give me a second. Give me a second, man. I'm all by myself here, man. I'm all by myself. That's the meeting, and I'm going to join right now. I'm going to join. Hello. And Vinny is here. Vinny's here. Good morning, Vinny. Vinny DiMartini, motherfucker. Someone else wants to call Albert Boucher. Albert Boucher. Hold on a second. Albert Boucher, I will let you in, but if you're a dick, okay, if you bring dickery to the table, I am going to exclude you. So, hello, Albert. Is Albert here?
Someone else wants.
Hi, Albert. How are you?
Albert.
Albert, turn off your audio, you idiot. Turn off your YouTube audio.
Well, you're starting off on.
Okay, if you come off if you come off defensive, I'm gonna turn you off. All right.
Turn off microphone.
You're mute, you jerk off. What's up, Vinny? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. Chilling like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Right,
But,
right.
I'm getting a little bit better. I got strains on my throat. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
giving me
yeah, yeah,
panic
yeah.
attacks and shit.
Yeah, I just want to, for clarity, Albert has been a disgruntled guest on this program. He comes on with his Jewish propaganda and his nonsense. He can't come on like a human being, right? He can't come on like a human being. So if he can't do that, we're gonna cut him off. So what's up, Vinny? How you doing?
What's up, man?
We're chilling, man. We're chilling. You know, it's
We're
there's a lot.
chilling. I'm glad to see we're starting to get some people on the Freaky Friday thing. And
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're at the point where we're going to have to start a band lab account and even work our own music and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could do pieces and stuff, and you could do it at any hours or at your leisure. And
Yeah.
I think it'd be a really great thing.
Wait. Say again. What are you saying? I wasn't listening to what you were saying. Go ahead.
Band lab.
Band lab. Okay. What's that?
Band lab. So you could do like a little Granny Cat like sample thing. I could add stuff. I got equipment over here and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting my carpal tunnel and everything back together. But you could do just little stuff, and people can join your band lab and everything, and we can have our own music since they're taking that as well.
Right,
and
right.
So you have your own stuff.
Right.
I
Okay.
guess
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to any of that. I mean, I've been playing, my own fucking piano music, and there is YouTube. YouTube has a whole category of music that you can choose from, like metal, rock music. But I'll be honest, a lot of it is just it's inferior. It's dry. It's not.
Right, right.
It's pseudo music. It's like, yeah, you want metal? Yeah, this is metal with heavy, a heavy guitar, and call it metal.
Yeah, we
it's not
can do
Metallica.
that.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah, man. So what else?
Happened now? But you kick him.
I muted him because he didn't even get here, and he's already telling me, oh, Conti, fuck you. This is when somebody invites you on a show. Look. To be a guest on someone's show, Albert, you have to come in and be.
Oh, he said he'd figure out the audio. He's in the chat.
Yeah. No. Albert, to be clear, this is fun, right? We'll talk to Albert Brichet, the guy who got kicked off YouTube for being a Jew hater. Right? Isn't that true, Albert? Right? Sort of. But Albert says, Marcus didn't cut me off. I left. No, I cut you off. I muted you, and then you left. For clarity, right? You're welcome to come on. I'll shut up as long as you could. I don't know. What do you Albert in the chat? Tell me what you want to talk about. What do you want to know today, Albert? What do you want to know? What do you want?
I know a lot of these dudes from way back, so
Yeah.
I'm from those communities. I am so anti-Zionist and stuff, but
Right.
I understand it. It's not about being anti-Semitic. It's being about real and
Right.
calling it all out.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with that Jewish topic. Is this, Vinny, respectfully, someone like Albert will come on, and he'll tell me that there's something in a Jewish book, some religious book that says that they are the chosen people, and that anyone who's not a Jew is doomed to hell. Something along those lines, right? He's pointing
But they don't even believe in hell. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that every religion has that. All religions say that their religion is the best. You got to give me evidence, right? You got to give me, are all Bashar will say, all the CEOs of large corporations are fucking Jews. And then upon further investigation, you realize that only maybe like 1 out of 7 is, like Goldman Sachs. But anyway, that's look. I'm not pro-Jew, but anyway, Albert Brichet has successfully steered the conversation to his stupidity very quickly. I'm dealing with no teeth, man. This is tough, man. This is tough. Look at this, man. I lost all my teeth. I'm down here in the fucking spaceship, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Albert, guess what? I'm going to do a little censorship of my own. Albert, you are now blocked. How about we block? Should I block? Is that too extreme, Vinny? Should I block Albert Boucher for being a dick?
I don't. Man, that's up to you, man.
Yeah. Just ignore him. Let's just ignore him. So if anybody else wants to come into the chat, again, I'm open to
Yeah, come on here, people. Come on here, and let's start doing this regularly. Boy, I'm still froggy.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people in here though that are pretty informed in a lot of ways, and they're making it through life with payments and 401ks and jobs and have been around the block. There's a lot of people that are really informed.
Right.
In these chats, and and we talk about a lot of different things in this chats. That Marcus isn't really on that somewhat more conspiratorial page, but one thing we all have in common is we love Marcus, right? And he's Marcus isn't going to cover the Hadron Collider, Georgia Guidestones, or the other stuff. He's not going to cover that, but we love Marcus. A lot of us were on that page in here.
Right.
And,
look, I'm a guy who speed reads the news. Right, that's what I do. I look at the news, and I try to give you, my perspective on that news. And if you like it, you stay. But here's the problem, right? Here's the problem with people historically on YouTube, right? They want to make a name for themselves. They want everybody to be talking about them and not the subject matter, right? So they come on, and the LARPer community. That's what they do. They start to infiltrate you.
Oh yeah, too well.
Right.
My God, it's a nightmare.
Right. And this jackoff, right? He comes on here. Vinny, how many people have we banned from YouTube in the last year? How many people got put into the box in the last year?
Well,
0.
We haven't been here in a year, so
no. Well, okay. I correct that. Coming back, in the comeback, did we have to ban anybody? Was anybody being a dick? Not at all,
I
right?
don't think so.
All right, so congratulations to Mr. Albert. He's the first one to get banned for not being able to listen, right? For not being able to listen, to not come in and say, hi, Marcus Conti, I'm so glad to be on your show. Right? No. Anyway, man, what else can we talk about?
Yeah, we got other guys on there. This one dude's a youngster, this Mike Goof or Mike Truth. Dude, he's always... it's Jew. And they don't understand a lot of they don't know the doctrines. They don't know all that stuff. But he gets all of his stuff with movies and everything. It's like what you're watching is all created by them. If you're so against them, you better turn off all the music and all the media and everything because they run it. Go look at when they roll the credits. It's like a guest list for Bar Mitzvah.
Right. Jim Girard's here. Hey, Jim, turn off your YouTube audio, and you have to listen on YouTube on your YouTube page. Just mute the audio so that you hear me coming out the mic, or it'll bounce. You see, there's a delay. That's the problem. I'm in your future. Right now, we're all a few seconds in the future.
Hey, Jim.
What's up, Jim?
What's up, Jim?
YouTube audio, and you have to listen on YouTube.
He's in a delay. You see that? Jim, can you hear me? Raise your hand if you can hear me.
I'm not sure I know how to do that, Marcus. But
okay, I'll tell you.
I just wanted to stop in and say hi.
I love to see you. I just don't want to hear the echo in the background. It's very simple. When you're watching it on YouTube, in your audio box, you see You'll see a little audio. Well, anyway, I could hear you. How you doing, Jimmy, man? Thank you for having your shirt on today. You can take your shirt off if you want.
He said, yeah,
That's
he came dressed.
he came dressed up. He's the new Jim. What's up, Jim?
know.
What's going on in Iowa? You're in Iowa, right? Iowa. Jim, you're in Iowa. Hey, Jim, are you in Iowa? You see here's the problem. Jim is watching the show. He's watching the later part. He's watching 15 seconds ago. He's not watching.
Right.
He's not listening to what I'm saying or you're saying. He can't.
Peace, Vinny.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful day right now. Gonna get hot next week, though.
Yeah. Oh well, we're supposed to have the early winter, but it said it's going to be a mean one, is what I gathered from the Farmer's Almanac.
Mhm.
I was looking at that, so that should be interesting how this plays out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's been very dry here in northeast Pennsylvania. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, Jim has to. Jim left the chat. He's got to figure out the way.
Yeah, he turned the volume all the way down
on YouTube.
And
then you listen in this
and,
page.
With the other one,
Right.
Or you're going to be lost in time.
You're lost in time. You have to join us in the space capsule on this
Right.
page and shut everything off.
And
You can't watch the show. You can't watch the show at the same time.
We're going to new places. We hope that are better.
Right.
We don't know yet.
Right. Just mute the stream. That's what.
So optimistic. It's hard to not be pessimistic and be optimistic about it because everything's just so bad right now.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think about that Joe Rogan thing with Facebook? That was pretty heavy, right?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Zuckerberg
Zuck. Good old Zuck.
got busted. He got caught. He I think the most revealing part of it is that he basically said that the FBI didn't come to me and say that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian propaganda. He said it. Right? That's how he moved forward. That's fucked up.
Well, what was interesting is in the last couple weeks where the Project Veritas came out with that thing of the hidden cameras where he talked about the vaccines, which is totally a spin from what they, monitor on Facebook and what he says. Mm-hmm. So he got busted on that one.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
He got a spanking on that one.
Yeah. I think he's afraid. I think Zuckerberg is afraid. I think he's afraid that government will lean on him. Right?
Oh hell
he's
yeah.
regulated. He's regulated, and he knows it. And he knows that if he doesn't play ball with the powers that be, they're going to lean on him until he's no more. Right? And Facebook's tricky because Facebook is a very powerful component of the S&P and their stock value is very important. So
absolutely,
it's a touchy situation. What else, Vinny, man? I'm gonna bounce, man. We're at an hour, but let's do this more. Let's do this Freaky Friday thing.
We'll come on with some more stuff, and we'll have to start up a band lab thing.
Okay.
And we could just you could put like a little thing down, and I'll add a little thing, and we can each mix our own things and stuff. And
okay. Show me what it is. I don't know. I don't really know what it is, and show it to me, and we'll do that. But I'm just glad we're back on YouTube for whatever reason.
Yeah,
we're being allowed. We're being allowed to speak. We really don't have an issue of trolls anymore, except with the exception of today. Right, right, and so far we're doing we're doing good. We want to keep it that way. We want to keep it. Yeah.
We can speak silent majority while you still barely can.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, that's what it's all about. And, you know, that's all we can do. It's like, are you awake? Or are you just breathing with your eyes open?
Right. Right.
You know, that's what it all comes down to. And there's a whole lot to delve into. So we'll have to start delving into this stuff.
Yeah.
And get people more involved and really start ripping it apart and smacking it around
Yeah, man.
in a
Yeah, man.
constructive way to where, I mean, good Lord, man, you get say a certain word or something, you're getting kicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
We all want to be included. That's all. We all want to just be able
all
to.
the rhythms are motherfucker, man.
Yeah. 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 I had that other
All right.
story. I had another story. I'll talk about it on Monday about how the algorithms are operating inside corporations, where people, like, if they're not touching their mouse enough, they're
Yeah, well, the AI is just
AI.
insane. I mean, that's like,
Yeah. I remember
man.
everybody frowned on the story of Amazon placing redirection devices on people. I remember when they did that, they would beep somebody if they walked too far away from their work position or stuff like
Wow.
that. Yeah, they
It's
actually did.
just so over the top, man.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre time we live in, man.
Right.
All right, Vinny, let me go, man. I want to bounce. I
All
want to kill this, and we'll move along. We have Weevil Girl. I think I love Weevil Girl's meditation with Weevil Girl. It's a great
Right.
great
That's
component.
awesome stuff. And
Weevil
I
Girl,
think
you're a welcome guest here whenever you want to come on and do that. Not right now because we're all done, but other time. If you have I guess I'll put it out there. If you want to come on the show and you got a little idea of what you bang a drum or you sing or you just want to ask questions, you want to talk, right? Very easy to do, man. All right, Vinny. Anything else? I'll give you the last word. What's up?
weekend all. Everybody, you maniacs, we love you, man.
All right, man. Peace out, Vinny. Thank you, man.
All right.
I'll see you Monday, mate.
We'll see you later.
And Vinny, thank you for what you do, man. Thank you for all you do here. Really, I appreciate
no
that.
problem, man. I love it.
All right, man. Peace out, Vinny.
All
All right, man. Vinny DiMartini. Give me a fucking round of applause for Vinny DiMartini. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Maurice Conte reporting. I could finish up here. This is me playing piano. Peace, everybody.